Welcome everyone to our third Keep Lounge chat. My name is Deborah Atwood and I'm curator here at the National Museum of Bermuda. For those who don't know, the Keep Lounge is the National Museum of Bermuda's web series, which features discussions with artists, artisans, and scholars on a range of topics related to Bermuda history, art, and culture. Today, I'm joined by NMB Director of Learning and Engagement, Lisa Howie, and renowned Bermudian artist, Bill Ming. And we're going to chat about Ming's sculpture Family Circle, which is currently on loan from the Corporation of Hamilton and on display at Commissioner's House. First and foremost, hello to you guys. Thanks for joining me. And how are you?
Not too bad, actually. I'm still a bit cold, even though I'm in the house. So hey, but I'm still working.
That's
That's why I'm here.
great.
Excellent. That's what's super important. So just a little bit about Bill. I know we all locals know and love him. And Bill Ming
Mhm.
studied at Mansfield College of Art from 1975 to 76 and gained his degree in sculpture and creative writing from Maidstone College of Art in 1979. He's been involved in numerous community projects and workshops covering a range of art activities and techniques in addition to sculpture. Using wood and various other art materials, Ming creates cultural collages that reflect the physical and spiritual aspects of life in all forms. His artwork is featured in the collection of Bermuda National Gallery and Masterworks and can be found in public spaces such as his Lost at Sea memorial sculpture in St. David's. So, Bill, thank you so much for joining us.
It's certainly
Um, and as you've said, you're busy, and I'm so happy to hear about it. The current context has posed so many problems and solutions to many creatives. So,
yeah.
how are you doing? Do you want to talk a little bit about how art making has changed for you in any way this past year?
Well, it's funny because over the past couple of years, I've been, in fact, I stopped actually making sculpture with my tools and chainsaw, and I've been looking at different ways of uh, utilizing the tree to make it much more, I suppose, interesting for me. So I started to look at my work and I started to break it up again because I like to burn bridges. And about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, looking at the hurricanes that hit the Caribbean and the way the houses and the different things would happen there, that was a destruction, and I said, I'm gonna do something with my work to have some sort of empathy with what was happening in the Caribbean. So I decided to go back to making with my hands, actually destroying. I became like the hurricane with my work, breaking it up. And then I started to start making baskets. And the baskets was like almost like carrying foods for the people. So I built these massive things outside of my studio. I couldn't get them in the house, but they're about 7 foot, 8 foot tall. And at the very top, there are like baskets made almost in the shape of boats to carrying foods or just different plants or whatever, So and I've been going around near in Newark. We got the river Trent, and there's a lot of boating there. So I got on the oxyguy's any old ropes you have. So the ropes are actually hanging off these large 7 foot pieces of work. So far I got about four of them out of my studio. So basically that's what I've been working on at the moment. So it's been great to diversify again, to try to I don't know, rather than destroying woods, I'm actually creating trees again. So and it makes me feel a bit like I'm doing something, I don't know, with not destruction, but constructions
Hmm.
again. So yeah, I'm feeling much better about that. You know, um, I hope that makes sense. Does it?
It does make
Yeah,
sense.
it
Yeah.
definitely
My
does.
head.
Yeah. It's very interesting actually because um, we definitely noticed, or I noticed with my colleagues, certainly at the beginning of, this whole pandemic,
Yes,
a
yes.
little over a year ago,
Definitely.
there was a lot of kind of focus on the container ships bringing in food to the island because we're so isolated. And like, as you were saying that, my mind immediately went back to like that focus on like, this is the container schedule and this is when it's coming in and this is the food it's going to bring in. And really kind of reminding me, those connections, how important they are, not only for food and things,
Yeah.
but also with others and things like that. So yeah, no, I
Yeah.
totally understood what you were saying for sure.
And my sister, she invited me to Grenada, March last year. And this when the pandemic was actually looming.
Yeah.
And so every day I walked the beach, and the month of like I don't know, flotsam and jetsam on the beach, and
Hmm.
every day I was dragging wood back to the house like a madman. I wasn't Robin Hood. I was Friday and Saturday and Sunday, and just dragging this wood back and just basically trying to make something out of this wood. I couldn't work there because like it's against the law to work if you're on holiday apparently. So I still had an exhibition there, but the trees that I made was like I don't know I don't know. To cut a long story short, I invited the whole neighborhood to enjoy what I had made for the last 3 weeks there. And they
Fabulous.
were like, what is this?
Nice.
This guy's mad. But I just wanted to share like what I had made there. So like a celebration for me. So I had no tools, just my hands.
Love
Oh,
it.
And
wow.
I brought that back with me. And behind me, you can see a lot of these things, particularly, I'm going back to drawing again. Because
Nice.
at college, I spent like most of the time working in pencil and one of those black pens, like black on
Hmm.
white things. Because like the things that's happening in America and around the world, when you got Agent Orange in the White House, it makes you think about things. So all these things, these political things, are coming into my work again. You know,
Love it.
so a lot of these things nobody's seen but you guys. So this is like one of those first time things that I'm sharing them to people. All these things behind me.
Well,
You know,
I haven't seen anything of yours on paper like that before. So that's
oh,
fabulous.
this is all new stuff. It's new
Yeah,
for
I'm
me.
looking
That's
forward to,
amazing.
yeah.
We're just going to share an image of Family Circle so that our viewers
Yeah,
can
I haven't
see.
seen it for a while because like
So that is it on
okay,
display.
okay. This is up up the west, right? I'm in the
Yeah, so this is here at the
yeah.
National Museum. It's on display in Commissioner's House.
All right.
Um,
Okay.
and thanks to the support of the Corporation of Hamilton, we were able to relocate the work or your work to the grounds of the museum.
It still looks good.
It
I
still looks
love, I
very
love,
good, yes.
I love the circle on the hexagon. Who's that?
Oh,
That?
uh, it was just perfect placement, actually. We
See,
had,
it works. It
yeah,
always works. Even the accidents happen. It works. Yeah, I love that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking to placement of a work of art from one public space to the next, it can lead to a very different read of and experience with an artwork. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on the new location of Family Circle?
Yeah, it looks good there, but yeah, I love it. I love it like that. Yeah.
It's
Uh,
also it's featured so on either side of the spaces. And Deb, if you want to jump in, my apologies. But just to say that on the one side is slavery as an exhibit, and the other is slavery in Bermuda. And
okay.
so I think that I didn't know if you wanted to speak to that, knowing that those two exhibits are on either side of the wings, going left or right of the object.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, I haven't actually been in this room. So when I'm in Bermuda, the only time I've been up there was when I saw Graham's big mural, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't seen this actually in situ. So this is all new to me. This whole place is all new to me. I didn't see these rooms before.
And
So
that's it gets the opportunity to move through the move from the historical context
yes,
and some of the, I mean, there's an obvious imagery parallel when we look at the replication of one of the slave ships,
in the back.
the illustration, and then these forms and shapes that we don't necessarily have a close up of it here, but on the backs, one of your figures has the back
Yeah,
opened up very
and
much
very
like the ship.
yeah, and very thin. I use these little bread nails. They call them
Hmm.
bread nails, where they have a little head and a very sort of sharp. So trying to get these nails as if they were people on his back was the hardest thing to do, I'll tell you. Um, but the same piece of work, I went back to that to actually get to these pieces that's on the wall. It's all about that. It's all about thinking about family circle and trying to do something. But it's funny, I'm going back to like the beginning of when I made this. When I first made this here about, I don't know, 15 years ago, I think it was, whatever it was. I had them in either pairs or singles. And when I went to exhibitions, I had them shown in all parts of the gallery. And some of them had ball bearings to talk about losing their bearings, or stones, all different types of material. And every time I brought them back to the studio when they didn't sell, I brought them back to the studio. I said, this is what the slave owner did. He split us up. So
Mm.
when I decided to put them all together as a family, I said, Jesus, there it is. So they actually they told me, Bill, we need to be together to make it work. As soon as I put them together, you guys, well, somebody bought them. So yeah, but it wasn't just about that. It was basically about me being maybe too close to the work and not seeing it.
Hmm.
But I had to go to that. I had to go to that singular double period to get to a family. You know what I mean? It's like me leaving home and thinking, I really miss my family. And you start thinking about those things. So it actually brings you into this again, your
Yep.
family. So this is my
And they float on an island. They're sort of floating on their own island inside that space, with
but
their
that's
own
right,
sort of.
yeah. And one of them was supposed to be, there's all of them like facing one way, but the guy with the hat is facing the other way. He's like looking out for things.
Hmm.
I don't know if anybody's noticed that, but it's always the
Hmm.
guy look, but actually a female, sorry, that's looking the other way. The others are looking, anyway, sorry. But yeah, when I put them all together, just saying, whoa, hallelujah, or something, whatever they say.
Well,
Sorry.
we have reactions almost like that when people walk in. I don't know if the word is hallelujah, but it certainly has a gravitas that when people come
Yeah, I
into
don't know.
commissioner's house, so if they've come up the double, the wing, and then here is this object, and you hear these voices like, whoa.
Yeah,
um
yeah.
yeah.
But
So
sorry, when I going back to the early days when it was in galleries, I had these ball bearings because I had to know a guy at the factory just down from me, and they make these ball bearings for motorbikes and all that. And the children used to come in, take out the ball bearings, and they'd be all over the gallery, and it was so dangerous because like people just slide on them. So this is sort of things that was happening. But hey, I just let the kids do. But
mhm.
somebody said, look, stop that, children. So the idea that they can touch them, but don't dismantle them or something. But yeah, these sort of things that was happening to them. And I didn't mind that, but the gallery owner said, no, we can't have that. Children should not be playing in galleries. So I have a sign that said, please touch the work, because I did a lot of work with unsighted people, and they would touch my work. This one words get in the way. So they would touch my work and tell me what it is. And so I did workshops like that in England here for a while. But anyway,
Well,
sorry.
the patina that's formed on some of the figures here definitely suggests that it's being touched.
Yeah, very
In
tactile. Yeah.
its lifetime, it's definitely had some people come in contact with it. That's for sure. Yeah,
Yes.
it does.
Yes.
It
Oh,
does have that quality about it, though, Bill. You do want to reach out. Um,
that's right. And
yeah.
I
Hmm.
want people to touch them. Just touch them with respect, because some of
Hmm.
them have nails, some have different things, and
Well, you've been talking about where you're going in terms of your studio practice now, and I think it sounds quite interesting. More than just like you said, not destruction, reconstruction, and sort of like finding new forms,
yes.
moving away from even the tools and just working with your hands. I think that's quite interesting.
And yeah, and it's almost like because it's pandemic, I couldn't go to the wood yard anymore, because the guy is not cutting trees anymore by years, but it's not. So I had to work around my house, just out in the land where I can go and get trees or cut branches off or something like that there, just with a saw, and then I can start to sort of plant long
Adapting.
willow and stuff like that there, because I did a lot of work with children in schools, or
Mm.
grasses, just using grass, to make plats and stuff like that. So, and I'm going back to like growing up in Bermuda, how we had to make things because we couldn't afford it. Our parents couldn't afford toys, so we made our own toys, and things like that. And this tree behind me. I remember when I was a kid. And you always know when summer's here because the poinsettia tree has this bright red colors.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm up in this tree in my back garden, and my tree now is a basket. So I'm talking about baskets on hard
Mm,
hands. And in here, I got horses, I got zebras, I got things in here, I got people up here. You know, the branches that come become people have come my people. You know, so they actually want to feed the land. And this is about the lynching in the
Mm.
Southern States of America, the foot. I got a book called The Black Book, and in this black book is four guys hanging from a tree. And now I don't know who these guys were. The black guys that have been lynched. And I took one of the guys down and I put him here. And then I just decided to use a color to, I suppose, to signify that I'm going to bury him
mhm.
because I just felt like I needed to do something. So he's still in this tree, but you won't see him until I said something, you know. So he's under
Mm,
this tree. So it's kind of things like that that I'm trying to come to terms with.
I was
You
just
know, when
gonna
I
say.
saw Floyd getting murdered in the streets of America, I was thinking, this is not right.
Mm.
This is just not right, man. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I can
It.
remember coming home from school when Emmett Till was murdered. You know, things like that. All these things are coming back to me now. And it's only because of COVID, it's actually near, and all these things are coming around. It's all like coming to a head. It's very biblical, man. You know,
I
sorry.
agree. I think it is, and it's. I mean, to talk about dystopia as a genre, as a writer,
Mm.
you know, and we've seen it in literature for years. We've seen it and consumed a lot of it
Yeah,
in film culture and
yeah,
TV series culture. But
yeah,
for it to be our living reality is so ominous and
yeah.
bizarre.
I know,
You
I
know,
know.
every life starts to look and feel a lot more like a surrealist work or some kind of Hieronymus Bosch gone wacky.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
and then how, and like you said, how do you reconcile it? And I think what's interesting actually is the return to nature is and I think we're very fortunate here in Bermuda is that we're surrounded by such an elegance that we can always walk outside and we can always have that space and place of beauty.
Well,
But I think the
even that,
return to
even
nature is fundamental.
I know, but even in Bermuda, we're losing that. That's why I love Grenada because there are wildness that's still there. I can walk to the jungle and just come back with all these ideas. Bermuda used to be like that. We used to walk in the pond and make things. Can't do that no more, man. You know, so it's all these things
Yeah.
that my memory banks are just kicking over now. You know, I got piles of stuff that I really want to show people, but anyway, I'm here. I'm still doing it. So, and it's still keeping me alive, you know. You
I
know,
think there's something to be said in making sure your portfolio is expressed to the National Museum, and because with Deb's direction and director Elena Strong, there's a keen interest in the contemporary movement. So you know, I think we should keep talking and keep looking and understanding what you're doing. I'm very interested in these large 7-foot tree basket boats. I really
Tell
want to
you,
see
it's
pictures.
crazy. It's crazy. I'm telling you, they got handles on them. They got everything on them. You know, I'll put the ladders on them so you can, well, kids could climb up, but I hope they don't. But the thing is, I keep inviting people to come over here and look at my stuff, but I haven't got any yes or no's yet. So it's cool. And I've been over here almost 40, 50 years. So,
Yeah.
you know, some people come, some don't, but it's
Hmm.
cool.
Yep.
It's cool. Oh, okay. What else can I talk about?
Well, that's good. No, we wanted to ask about your future. What are we expecting from the studio from 2021? And I think you kind of got
I'm
into
just
it
gonna be doing what
exactly.
I'm doing. I'm just gonna
Great.
carry on, you know, because like for me, it's like a whole new life thing, you know. And people say, Bill, what are you doing? I said, I don't know, but it makes me feel good. You know, it's like that. You know, I put my music on, I go back to my rock and roll. Believe it or not, I'm going back to rock and roll, and I'm just rock and roll with this stuff, you know. And all
Love it.
these things are talking to me. These are my people, you know. That's what I
Just out of
feel.
curiosity, who's your go-to band?
I
Rock and
was
roll.
just thinking that. I was just thinking that.
I confess, I'm a Led Zeppelin fan.
Well, if you want to see last step, you must go back to like the black rock and roll because I looked at listen to rock and roll. I said, "This is Led Zeppelin." No, it ain't. It's rock and roll, and you can see it. You can hear it. All that
Nice.
songs. That's where it started. And the thing is that because I was living in Bermuda, we had one station, BBC, Bermuda Broadcasting Company, And
Mhm.
all they played was like hillbilly stuff and a few rock and roll fest domino, but the real stuff they never played. So I'm just trying to find some book of my life by buying stuff now. There's on you can buy it now
Hmm.
in this form or whatever. So yeah, I'm all the things I missed out on in Bermuda. I'm just playing them on my radio, saying, "Wow, wow, this is
Hmm.
from 1956. This is from 19, and this is my era. You know, this is
Mm.
my era." So yeah, but it's a songbook of my life. I'm trying to get together with the
Nice.
music and my work. So when I have an exhibition, I put my music on. The last exhibition I had in Nottingham, a big one, where these two guys, I made a beach, and these two guys were, one of them was on a big, I found this massive tub, about 6 foot, tin tub. You can buy you get from an old hospital back in the 40s where people were coming from the war and they have these tubs. So I had these two, this guy here and this guy here in this tub with a lot of sand. So I had about 2 tons of sand in the gallery. And then I had an old blues guy with the guitar playing the music, So all these things here that I'm actually doing over here, but I haven't had an exhibition for a while because, as you know, this COVID thing.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I'm enjoying myself. It's
I love
madness.
it.
It's
Yeah.
madness, I tell you. But I love madness. I love that madness. The things that you do and how they take me to a different place and bring me back again.
It's
This
great.
is a
Mm.
journey that I've been on since I left Bermuda, or when I got on the ship in 1963 and came to Liverpool, to America, and then came to England to return to school, college, where I dropped out because I couldn't stand enclosed spaces. That's one of the reasons why I left school. I dropped out. I was like this, couldn't
Mm.
talk.
Tight. Hmm.
Yeah.
All these things now, I can talk now. They can talk for me. The peace in Bermuda is talking for me. The family is talking for me.
Mm. Well, you're
Saying
well
people.
represented there. That's for sure.
And thanks for taking up to the other end of the island, which is good. So I hope
I
I can get back and see it one day when I can afford to travel. I'm a poor starving artist. I'm in the attic for Christ's sake. I gotta be poor and starving.
Well, you're inspiring nonetheless.
Oh dear. Uh, but what I'm gonna try to do is try to get a few photos of the piece of my studio and let you see and see some of the other things that's out there. It's a whole lot of other stuff out there too. I'm making little toys with wheels
Hmm.
on them.
Hmm.
Because in Bermuda, actually, when I was growing up, I should just make bicycles and just get in a whole lot of trouble. So, and I still like making my own toys. These are my toys.
So great.
They're growing big, but they're still my toys. I'm just a kid that will never grow
Hey, no problem with
That's
that.
yeah, that's fair enough.
up.
All
Okay.
right.
Anything else you want to start talking?
Um,
Hey, I talk a hell in your head.
no, it's been great. I've really enjoyed listening to you.
It's wonderful to spend time with you, Bill. It's
Thanks,
great to
thanks.
hear that you're active. I love you self-describing as being mad. And your energy is really jumping across right here, even though I know we're online and it's all virtual and weird.
I'm
But
seven. I am 7 and 6. I am 7 and 6.
and I'm 5-0 for that, babe.
I'm just gonna stay
Five
quiet.
oh.
I'm just gonna stay
McGarrett.
quiet.
Fucking Dano. Anyway, okay. All right then.
Well, we'll
Yeah,
keep in
enjoy.
touch, and I'd love
Yeah.
to see more images of your work,
Okay.
and make sure we're
Okay.
actually really more aware of what you're doing. It sounds very interesting, and you know as well as we do that there aren't many artists on island who are working in large scale sculptural forms.
Well,
So
somebody said, "How you can get rid of these?" I said, "I have no bloody clue. I don't make things to sell. If people love them, yeah, but I make things because I want to, because I feel
well,
the need to do it. And if they sell, great. So just like burners. But you know, I'm not in this game just to sell things. All these things here, I never probably sell, but that's cool. You know, I just send them off to somebody, give them away as gifts. But you know, the idea that you're working in this thing for money is, forget it. You know,
Yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah.
Mhm.
if it works, fine. If it doesn't, that's fine too.
Yep.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
die happy. Let's talk about dying.
No
Yeah,
one, nobody.
I'm top of the world,
No,
mama.
celebrating life.
Top of the world, mama. Okay,
Okay.
you guys take care. My
Okay.
is here.
Hi, Nadia. Hey,
Okay.
we're about to sign off and wish you
Yeah.
guys all the very best. I'm going to follow up with an email and hopefully we can stay in touch and hear some more and see
Okay.
some more of your work.
That'd be
Okay.
great.
Yeah, thank you for your time today, Bill.
Thanks for inviting me. It's nice just to be needed sometimes. People want me. Hey.
Well, you know as well as we do that if you showed up to do an event in Bermuda, it'd be sold out. It
For
would be
sure.
oversubscribed, and if you brought anything for sale, it'd be gone before the hour's up. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
you know
Thanks for
you're loved
inviting
here.
me, and you know, you take care of yourself and stay, you know,
Stay safe.
stay safe.
Stay
yeah.
safe.
Yeah, same to you guys as well.
You too.
Okay, all the
Bye.
very best. Thanks so
Bye.
much.
Love ya.
Bye.
Love ya.
Love ya.